When I watch a superhero movie, I'm not exactly looking for high art, but I am looking for a fun roller coaster ride with some fun set pieces, a story I care about, and characters with relationships that hook me into wanting to see the outcome. Superman 2025 is one of the safest superhero films I've seen in a long time. I'm not jaded from this genre either, as I gave positive reviews to both Thunderbolts and the latest Captain America film. But when I watched this movie, written and directed by James Gunn, I could sense how safe it was being. I'm sure this is because Gunn has been assigned the task of resetting this entire universe after the catastrophe that was Warner Brothers' last attempt at this. There is not a bad performance in this movie at all. I think everyone plays their roles very well. The standouts for me were definitely Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor and Nathan Fillion as the head of the Justice Group. But the real star of the picture is Crypto the dog. He is around a lot, and he is just a dog being a dog, not really realizing what he's doing, and probably doesn't even realize he's a super dog. I think this is a good foundation to lay for a new DC universe, but that comes with the good of being basic fun, but also comes with the bad of only being basic fun. I don't mind that this picture isn't an origin story. We've gotten enough of that, and I think even Gunn knew that. But the problems creep in when everything is so established, it doesn't allow us to see organic growth between anyone. One of the better scenes is when Lois is interviewing Superman at the beginning of the film, as it lays the stakes as how some people may view Superman as causing more harm than good, and also shows a somewhat humane side to him, with him getting mad about all the social media aggression that is aimed toward him. But on the flip side, this makes Lex Luthor too conveniently powerful for too long. I remember back in the day that people complained that the Joker in The Dark Knight was too powerful. Well, Luthor is worse in this movie with that aspect in every way. I know he's a genius and has to fight Superman with his brain because he wouldn't stand a chance against him physically, but all these plans to break the mysticism of Superman stretch the credibility for me too far when I stop to think about them. Luthor seems to have everything figured out. Superman's weakness to kryptonite, able to anticipate his every move in a fight, and even something that involves a group of monkeys. And eventually I just had to ask, how do you know all this? The opening crawl in the picture says that Superman lost his first battle 3 minutes earlier, so there is no organic growth to anything surrounding Luthor's relationship with Superman. Why he hates him, how he knew Superman was sensitive to social media outrage, what his weaknesses were. It's all just neatly placed there for him to just throw everything at our hero and put him on the defense from the first frame until near the very end. There's also no organic growth between Lois and Clark either. In fact, he barely portrays Clark Kent in the film. I know this movie starts where Superman is established in the world, and everyone who knows the relationship before they go in will be fine. But if this is supposed to be a reboot of the universe, and you want this to be an entry point, I do not see how this can be appealing to someone going in cold. The movie starts with the action and hopes that you did your homework beforehand, and movies that require out-of-the-movie research to fully grasp what's going on have always rubbed me the wrong way, as I have said in multiple other reviews on my channel. It isn't all negative though, because I don't think this is a cash grab fully. The dog is fun, the action sequences are acceptable for what they are, the comedy is good from a few of the characters, and I like how they portray Lois as a character who is very locked into uncovering the things that are in this movie. I also really enjoyed the meta-humans, especially Mr. Terrific. I felt the fun in their relationships, but the core three relationships are locked into this plot and are given no pathos behind any of their relationships with each other. For all I know, there is no chemistry between the actors, but we were given no downtime for them to bond, or in the case of Superman and Lex Luthor, no chance to understand the animosity. All we were given is a good jealousy speech by Lex late in the film. I just felt the script was rushing past all the stuff and expecting us to just not ask any questions because now we're fighting a kaiju. I mean, that's cool and all, but can we go back to the relationships for a few minutes instead of making that fight as long as it was? Speaking of the kaiju, it leads me to the CGI. It is completely weightless. It makes me feel detached from the world even more. There's a sequence in a rift-like river thing that was happening so fast. Not only was I not sure what was happening on multiple occasions, invasions, but they felt like they were being as weightless as Godzilla is in the most recent Versus movies he's done. The worst offender of this is when Lex Luthor is walking up to a computer and debris is flying around his face and he does not bat an eye. We don't see dust around him from the destruction or anything. It reminds me of how bad the Star Wars Special Edition looked originally when they CGI moved Han's head to show that Greedo shot first. It looked awkward and weird. It pulls me out when I feel nothing but sanitation in the CGI surrounding the people. I really like Superman's relationship with his Earth parents, though. They aren't in the film that much, but when they are around, it shows that they did a great job raising him to fight for what he believes in. I even like them introducing a new wrinkle that I hadn't seen before with Superman's birth parents. It gave a potential weight to the story and conflict for him, but the picture won't allow even the small amount of pathos time to breathe before we get humor from characters that should not have been comic relief. I guess what I'm saying is the same thing that I said in my Jurassic World Rebirth review somewhat. I enjoyed it in the moment, but felt it was in conflict with itself to be safe and confused at the same time with how far it wanted to go. So this is not a bad movie in any way, and I'm sure most people are going to really like it. I view it as something that is trying so hard to not make anyone mad so they can right the ship of the universe they are building around it. And maybe after this one succeeds, they'll try a few more out-of-the-box things that we might enjoy. One thing a lot of people are probably going to pounce on is the potential war between two countries in this film and how reminiscent it is of other going-ons in this world right now. But I did not feel talked down to with this picture. The invasion stuff felt like a motivator for a certain character and nothing more. But since we now live in a world where everything has to have a socio-political undertone to it in some people's eyes, people will grasp at anything to tie it to whatever they want to say. Ignore all that garbage, please. It doesn't dwell on it enough to condescend. The film keeps its tone much too lighthearted and more in line with the fun that Superman used to be, that it didn't come off as preachy in any way. Ignore anyone who says that stuff in the coming days and weeks. It's really not that big of a deal. In summary, this movie is fine, but a little disappointing with how safe it is. I hope that if this film succeeds and they are allowed to explore more, then maybe it can settle down into a groove and give us the relationship building I seek, so I can possibly care more the next time out. If you're on the fence with this picture, I say see it for a matinee or maybe a stream, but I can't recommend it for a full price. It's a fast food movie, nothing more, nothing less. I give Superman 2025 2.5 stars out of 4. This film only cares to please you enough so it can get you looking forward to the films 5 years from now. A stopgap kind of film. And that is my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Here's links to my other videos. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.